Doing those two people?
All right.
All right.
We are recording. All right, I'm calling to order the special meeting of the Economic Development Commission, March 28th. It's 6:31 in Vermont. The agenda is straightforward. We have one item on the agenda to discuss if we need to and vote on a marketing partner for the EDC. This is the series. This is the fourth, I think, in a series of meetings where we've had, or more than four, where we've been discussing this topic, 6 or 7 meetings. I hope we can come to conclusion tonight. If we can, that's great. It would take 5 votes to pass any motions. Are there any additions or deletions to that? Well, there can't be any deletions to that agenda since it's a one-item agenda. Are there any additions to the agenda? Hearing none. Time for citizen comments. Are there any citizen comments that are not related to another topic, well, besides the one that's on the agenda? And I can see there's only 1 or 2 people that are not on their camera, Lisa and Ray. If you want to raise your hand, just, click the button. Otherwise, and Deborah.
He's asking for unrelated comments, is that right?
No,
Yes.
I think related comment.
No. Anything unrelated to the topic.
No,
So
I'm here just to talk about what's on.
Yes, so we do have somebody who wants to speak about what's on the agenda.
So all right. So then we'll, if we can call on them. Well, go ahead. Why don't you make a comment now, and then we'll continue the
Okay,
discussion.
so,
Can they come up to the table so they can hear me?
yeah, there's a thing right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Introduce yourself because they can't see you.
Hello, John and others on the EDC. It's Ben Ford of Woodstock. How are you?
Good, Ben. How are you?
Great. A couple of data points, I guess, or pieces of information I wanted to chip into the conversation to the extent that this marketing position, from what I saw on the listserv, is one of the functions is to convince students in choice towns to enroll in our schools. A couple of things. One, just this week, the Sharon Academy posted a part-time position for an enrollment manager. That's out on Indeed, and that's they're going to be looking to pay somebody up to $35,400 a year to do exactly kind of the same thing that this position would be geared to do. That's to get students in this area to enroll in their school, right? So I guess that's just to say that I guess the game is afoot, as it were. I've said this in school board presentations that, whether we like it or not, we are in competition for students, and the other participants in the, in the area are competing. And the other thing I wanted to say is that the school board does intend in the near future, not in the next year, but hopefully in the following year, to add a full-time development director position. That's something we've talked about as the EDC has funded Marlena McNamee's efforts to fundraise. But part of the development director and the build out of our development office would be kind of threefold. It would be fundraising, communications, and enrollment, right? So that would be something that we'd be looking to do, not in this budget cycle that voters just voted on in March, but hopefully the next. We'll see what the kind of fortunes bring. This year was incredibly tight on the budget. As we know, about a third of Vermont school budgets were voted down. So we were looking to make every cut we could. So it wasn't a good opportunity to do it this year. And we're excited that the EDC is looking to kind of step into that space that we weren't able to fill in that regard. So just wanted to have those items as part of the discussion tonight.
Okay, thank you. All right. Is there any other discussion? Let me just start with EDC members, and then we'll give non-EDC members a chance to comment. Sorry, Todd.
Yeah, Jess, as you're the sole person left, and I know that in my thought process, I was voting toward class 4. I just want to let you know that in terms of like thinking business is business, I was always very impressed with what you had to offer. And I look forward to, in a positive affirmation vote here from everybody, working with you and seeing the fruit that you bear. And I just want to let you know that I think I can speak for myself or perhaps for others, that, you know, we're really excited for the opportunity. And it's been a long process, but I want you to be discouraged that it wasn't, you know, all one way at the beginning. Things are a process for a reason, but, you know, your professionalism speaks for itself, and I'm personally excited to move forward with this vote and see the outcomes. Thank you.
Thank you.
thanks.
Hey,
Other
hey, Jeff.
comments, Deborah?
Yeah, I do have a comment, just up for a little bit of discussion. You know, ditto to what Todd said, and Jess and I have talked already about that. But one thing I want as the EDC to be aware of and to kind of put it forward to think about in conjunction with this vote, doesn't have to be done tonight, but there will be a period, there needs to be, in my opinion, a period where we're still working with class 4 or anybody from the marketing group to get everything and to take what we've done over the last couple of years, bring it to Jess. There just needs to be a transition period. And I don't know, and since Charles has taken his thing off the plate, I don't know if there will be any cost to that. And I just think we need to be aware of that there should be a working together with, you know, the people who've been working on it, just for everybody's benefit. And also we've spent the money, so we really should have that crossover period.
Yeah.
And Jess, I also look forward to seeing what you do.
Greta can respond to that. Greta, go ahead.
Hi, sorry. My children are watching Bluey right next door, so I apologize if you can hear that. But we have started the offboarding process with class 4, meaning that we are receiving all of the email collateral, email list, media assets, and everything that they've created over the last couple of years for us. And they are charging us hourly for those tasks, and we hope to have that wrapped up by a week or so. And you know, after the vote tonight, hopefully it's a positive vote and we're moving forward with our new communications program with Jess. And she will certainly be involved in that transition to make sure that everything goes where it needs to be and everyone knows where things are and things are tidy and we get the, you know, most value for what we've invested with class 4.
Awesome, Greta. But do we also get the whatever the system is as well, or no? We just
The
get
system, yeah, no, the system is like a as far as, you know, it's their,
the tool that they were using is their tool. That's
Right.
not something that we.
it's a, you know, it's a digital marketing tool that takes in a lot of information about all of the warm leads that they get, and we will be getting a profile along with the email users. So we'll be getting some information attached to the email users. And, you know, and the other part of their platform was very targeted advertising. And that's not something that we plan to have in this next year as far as what our objectives are. And that part is not something that we're going to be utilizing going forward in the next year.
And it can't be transferred. We were told that. We knew that we would lose those parts of the system if we were to transition away. We were told that many times. And so we will get class 4 has been being very cooperative. I mean, I haven't been involved. Greta's been leading this, but
Right.
the feeling I get, Greta, is that they're being very cooperative. It's not going to be very expensive. We have money in the budget remaining in the budget to cover the cost of the transition. But we will lose some. That they're going to transfer to us everything that can be extracted from the system.
Great.
Other comment?
John used the word that can be extracted. There's some stuff that cannot be.
Yes, and we've been told that many times.
Yeah.
Anything vital? No. I hope.
I don't know how to
John,
answer that.
quick question of Greta and you. If I'm understanding correctly, the underpinnings of what Class 4 had is a proprietary data management system. Is that an accurate way to describe it? The
That's
way
correct.
they collect the information?
Yeah. Can I just chime in real quick? It's what they use is called Klaviyo. Anybody can use it. It's just it's a software essentially.
I
But
see.
there's certain data within Klaviyo that they cannot take out of that platform when
Oh.
they're exporting, which is essentially an email list with certain sort of attributes, profile attributes to each user in the system. So they're going to give us whatever data they can export, but there are certain things which I think, and I'm not sure if I'm 100% accurate on this, are more like behaviors. For example, how someone may have used like the website or where they got the lead from, or certain demographic information. But I'm not totally clear on that. But essentially, that's what's happening. They used Klaviyo. They have a certain number of things about each user. Whatever they are allowed to export from that system, they're going to give to us, which would obviously probably be name, email, maybe geographic location, and other data sets.
So the main stuff that we paid them to build for us can be transferred.
I'm not clear on what they can export, but and I'm not totally clear on what Woodstock paid for specifically with them.
We paid for it. Yeah, we paid for everything.
Yeah.
The information that we're going to get is very useful and will help Jess in the program that she's going to use. We have been told repeatedly that not everything can be. It's
not them being nefarious. They just
the system doesn't export it, and I don't think we know exactly what those pieces are.
We're going to get everything they can possibly give us, right, John?
Based on what they talked about, when we ask these specific questions in the meeting, I know that we'll get the email, we'll get whether they expressed interest in outdoor activities or shopping. That can be added to that. We'll get their, there's no reason we wouldn't get the open rate of like how many emails that person opened, like all the basic stuff. And basically the things we won't get are the things that would only matter if we were trying to recreate what we decided not to do. So we're still getting a lot of very valuable information, but because we're taking a different strategy and a different tact, that additional data, we don't, it's
all right. Thank you.
Yeah.
I wasn't suggesting that it wasn't nefarious, Scott. I was just hopefully.
No, I totally get it. Yeah,
to have something done, and they collected it all and built it, and
to add to that, Joe, Greta's also working with them to make sure all the assets, all the video they shot, all the photos they did, they're sharing all the content that they've written, collecting all the work that they've done.
And Jessica, if our vote's affirmative, you're going to work with marketing, and if something's missing that you feel should be there, obviously you'll discuss it, I imagine.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I don't think anything's going to be missing. I mean, we're sending them a 5,000 gigabyte hard drive to collect the data. So I doubt anything.
Can you just say terabytes, John, please? Thank you. Appreciate that.
I felt that people would understand 5,000 gigabytes better. I'm not sure who MG is, but if you could just tell us who you are.
Michael?
Oh, is that Michael?
You're not a very good detective, John.
I'm a terrible one. Welcome, Michael.
Sorry,
go ahead.
Michael was in the bathroom.
Yeah, just a question for how Jess, what would be the best way? Getting this on a flash drive, it seems like that might be quite literally clunky. But is there a preferred method or thing that we should be thinking about, like creating a what do you call it, a Dropbox or something else, Google Drive, anything that you would prefer?
5 terabytes.
I was hoping to use Google Drive just because I think it's a great collaborative resource that's easy for a lot of people to access. But
no, the town needs the assets too. We'll put it on a hard drive and clone it over. I mean, it's going to take 5 terabytes to take forever to download.
Sorry, Greta, could you just briefly explain that you are in fact on top of all of this?
Yeah, this is all getting taken care of. I appreciate people's interest, but we will get the assets in our hands, and Jess will have full access.
We sound like Secret Service. Get the assets.
And Greta's doing research.
I'll go back on mute.
Greta's doing research and going back and forth about what the best way to get the assets and share the
Yeah.
assets.
Googling things like what is a terabyte and things like that.
Greta, I deal with about 20 terabytes a day in my business. So you have any questions, I can help you with.
I'll hit you up. Thank you.
Yeah, I protect all the worst TV shows in America. So
Oh, thank you for that, Todd.
you're welcome.
Well, I'm really glad I asked that question.
Are there other,
Ha!
are there other comments?
Want to, or no?
Anyone online? No, seeing none. All right. Would someone like to make a motion?
Yes,
Oh, sorry,
So-
sorry. Excuse me one second. Sorry.
Jennifer just came and you have the marketing people, committee is here, so I don't know
Okay.
if there's.
All right, if that
Larry-
would, is there anyone there would like, was anyone there that would like to make a comment, Deb? If you can
Beth,
call,
Jeff,
could call on them?
And Jennifer, does anybody want to speak at this moment?
Wasn't quite prepared. Oh,
There's a thing there, or you can sit over here because then they can see you.
here's one right there. Nobody's looking.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so, I have to say that, the marketing committee did put together a letter of recommendation. And it seems like I was traveling for the past 2 weeks, so I'm just kind of getting my feet back in Vermont, which is very snowy. But, as we move forward, I guess tonight's vote is it seems like it's swaying towards, the recommendation that we did not hope to go towards to do, since the investment that we have invested over the past 4 years into class 4, into all the assets. It seems like it's going to take a long time to get back that momentum. Of course, we are all about making sure that we're doing the right for the community and the Woodstock Chamber and everyone involved in local businesses. So we will work with Jess Kirby as we move forward and continue to collaborate together for the good of the community. So I guess that's really all I can say at this point. I know there was an email that went around about my involvement, and I was definitely taken back by that because my time here for over a decade of volunteering my marketing skills, photography, art direction, and everything has been done from my heart. And within hours that were not dedicated during my time at the Woodstock Inn and Resort. So I think because of the community feeling that maybe I had alternative motives, it was really hard to hear that. And I think moving forward, it might be better for the new EDC board and just to kind of get a fresh perspective and have a new fresh platform. I will stay involved with the chamber and be available as much as I can, but I do think that we are taking a step back on something that we really worked hard towards. So that's really all I have to say. Does Beth or Jeffrey need to say anything? We're good.
You said it last week,
Okay,
the week before,
great.
the week before that?
Well, thank you for hearing my voice. I wish I knew that I couldn't see anyone. You guys can't see me, but I would have zoomed in, but I decided to come here in person. Thank you.
Marion?
Yeah, I just wanted to thank you Jen, for all the work that you've done. And I wanted to just clarify one thing, which is one email from one person shouldn't be construed to represent the feelings of the community. It's one email from one person. And I think it's easy in all these positions when we volunteer and put ourselves out there publicly to do work for the community. Oftentimes the loudest voices are the negative voices. And I just don't want you to feel that that's the voice of the community, feeling that you've done, anything but volunteer your time and provide a really valuable, appreciated service.
Jen, I just want to second that. I've received 3 emails from 3 different people that made me want to kill myself, but I'm still here. So, the haters are going to hate, but your time and efforts are so appreciated, and just know that, let that stuff go because we are so grateful.
And I'd like to add to that just that it is disheartening when those things happen. Obviously, all of us are working on other things, and yet we're all donating our time. And when they get put together and people don't understand that they are different, It's a hard thing. And I'm so sorry that that was the feeling, if you feel that from a couple of people or whatever it is, that 10 years of work, that's a lot of time that you've donated. And I really want to thank you.
I'd like to add to that, because,
Okay.
oh,
Yeah,
sorry, no, go ahead.
Jeff.
Go ahead, whoever's there. Is that
This
Jeff?
this is Jeffrey Kahn. I wasn't going to say anything, but I feel like saying something now, only because I wanted everyone to know that that email did say some things that were hurtful to Jennifer, but also to me. In that, and Beth knows this, I've been involved in marketing in Woodstock since the 80s, and have been working back when I was on the Chamber of Commerce board, and did a lot of marketing in the 80s when the chamber was more independently doing that work than today. And it's continued, and that when the time came for us to go into the most recent time of spending more money on marketing, I completely recused myself from the process. I observed all these interviews, but I had nothing to do with the actual hiring of what turned out to be my son's firm. So in that email, which talked about that conflict of interest, I just want to say I remain interested in marketing. That's why I'm here right now. I look forward to working with Jess and doing what's best for Woodstock. And I just wanted to say that. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeffrey.
Deb, is there anyone else on the marketing group or in the room that wants to say something? Because I'd just like to make a comment.
No.
Okay,
No.
thank you, Jennifer and Jeff. As the writer of the email, I want to make the following comments. I wrote that email very carefully, and I hope that that it is clear, certainly to everyone on this call, and maybe to anyone else who would ever read it. That email does not reflect my personal feelings. And in particular, it does not reflect my personal assessment of Jeff's role or Jennifer's role. I have said a number of times in public meetings and many more times in private discussions that Jeff is a staunch and very strong advocate of a marketing program. And none of that staunchness and strongness comes from the fact that his son is involved. It comes from his perspectives about marketing. And I do not feel that he had any conflict of interest. He and I have talked about that over the last 6 or 8 or 10 months. It never occurred to me to make a similar statement about Jennifer not having a conflict of interest because in public meetings, because I wasn't aware that anyone thought that. When I was told that there was there was a majority of the select board that had serious concerns and would not likely vote for a program with class 4, I felt obligated to find out more. And so I asked, and the select board members agreed to speak with me. They agreed to share their concerns, and they agreed to be identified as to with whom I spoke. And I laid out their concerns and enumerate them in the email as I heard them. They are what they are. The select board members are entitled to feel the way they feel. And I felt I had an obligation. Absent that email, this meeting would have, I think accurately, would have conveyed the impression and the accuracy that these decisions get made in private smoke-filled rooms. And I think that is more damaging to the EDC and to the government in Woodstock in general than it is to publish transparently things that people said and feel and that they think are relevant and so forth. And I did that. And I encourage everyone, if you are unclear about, and I'm not suggesting anyone is saying that I am making accusations about either Jeff or Jennifer, but I encourage you to go back and read that email, because it you know, without standing up and shouting, it's written to make clear that I'm exactly what happened, which is other people had points of view. Those people have votes. You know, as a practical matter, this is as a practical matter, our choice became to work with Jess or to not work with anyone. I think all of us, those that were voting for Class 4 or for Jess, felt that both firms were good. And if anyone was given the choice of choosing either Class 4 or Jess or nothing, we would have chosen one of Class 4 Jess. I think we want your help, Jess. We want, you know, I wanted Class 4's help, but I'm excited, and I think I've told you that when we talked that I thought you would do a good job, and I think you will do a good job. And I'm, like all the others, I'm very happy to support you, and I look forward to it. But again, I just that this doesn't diminish. And I talked to Jeff today. Jennifer, I didn't know you were coming tonight, and I wasn't. I knew you were on vacation. I thought you were still on vacation, but I spoke with Jeff today, and you know, I know this was a painful thing for Jeff to hear, and I'm sure it's a painful thing for Jennifer to hear. I'm sorry you heard it through me, but I just want to make clear that you didn't hear it from me.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. And so I'm sorry for my part in it, but I felt I was in essentially an impossible position. And I think I tried to do the right thing in terms of transparency, even at the cost of the feelings that it caused. So,
John, if I may, John, because I've got to run, but your email, I can see how it can sit differently with different folks on the different sides of the equation of this, but transparency is something that since I've joined this group, I've seen nonstop. And people can come in here and they can say what they want, but speaking the truth, even if it's just relaying a message or otherwise, is something that you're a master of, and we all are grateful for to be part of this and for that. So don't beat yourself up over relaying a message, and just, you know what I mean?
This is if there are hurt feelings tonight, emotion, it's from Jennifer and Jeff. Let's stay focused on that. Let's move on. But I'm fine about all this. I just wanted to be explicit about this fact because I just didn't want any of you all to be confused anyway.
Yeah.
All right, is there any more discussion?
I'll just say I'm thankful you wrote that email, and I'll end it there. I think you did a good job with that.
Me too.
Fine.
Me
All right,
too.
thank you. All right, is there any more discussion? All right, would someone like to make a motion? Oh, sorry, I'm sorry. Just a couple of two very quick details. One is that Jess has sent me an email. I don't think, Jess, you copied anybody else, saying that she made an error in the budget calculation. And from what I can remember, the first time in 117 grants that we've made, it was less rather than more.
Yeah.
And so the quote was reduced by $2,000. It's now $52,020 is the correct cost. The second thing is I would, maybe I'll make the motion because I'd like to suggest that we modify the proposal, that rather than setting the objectives for increasing May and June retail activity, we change it to June and July. That gives Jess, this has taken longer. It gives you more time to prepare in the marketing committee and more time to think about how to do that.
I think that's more realistic anyway.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
That timing.
So I'll make a motion then to approve as a marketing partnership, working with Jess Kirby LLC, pending the completion of an acceptable contract to both parties, which will eventually get signed by Eric, and changing the objective, one of the three objectives from the May-June focus to June and July, that we work with Jess Kirby and we enter into an annual contract for $52,020 to achieve the objectives that were stated in her contract.
Second.
All right, is there any further discussion? All right, and all in favor, say aye.
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 That aye was Michael, right? Yeah, okay.
Still, yep.
Still Michael, yeah. All right, now I can begin to, are there any, all opposed? Any abstentions? I'm sorry, I didn't see everybody. So everybody voted aye. So okay, thank you. All right, so the motion passes. Jess, congratulations. We all, I think, look forward to working with you. We will do what we can to make this a success.
John, I have one last question on behalf of the standard and the public. In Jess's proposal, there was potentially a 15% $100,000 outlay for website redesign. Is that still on the table and that might be considered later, or where does
It's-
that stand?
Yeah, that's not part of this proposal. We did not
Right,
approve that. Nor, we're about to begin a discussion process with the chamber, starting with very broad strategic issues and working our way down to more detailed issues. I think we all would, many people, I would say, would like to upgrade the website and improve it, but that's a process that's just about to begin now. The chamber and the EDC jointly control it, so we have to agree. The chamber and the EDC have both agreed to have a discussion and to start that discussion soon, and we're looking forward to that. But it's, but Jess is
Excellent.
able to proceed. Well, yeah, but that's separate. That's a separate topic.
Right, no, that clarifies it. Thank you.
Okay. Is there any other business that we need to discuss?
Move
6:02.
adjourn.
All right, 6:02. You've all done a perfect job. Thank you. There's a motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
Jeff, you want to
Second,
hold for a second? Just, I want to lock up with somebody else in the building.
All in favor?
No, it's-
Aye.
yeah.
Hi.
Any opposed? All right, we are adjourned. Deborah, thank you for
Welcome.
Thanks,
it
Deb.
done.
Thank you all.
Thanks, everybody.
Okay.
Take care,
bye.
everybody.
Thanks,
Take care.
Thanks,
All right.
everybody.
I was just going to ask if you guys would